Pato busted for indecent exposure. Bridge to reopen early. And Hess thanks Guyana for growing profits. I am Enrico Beaufort, and this is Uncut News. To see news happening, send us a tip on WhatsApp at 592-659-6151. Former Minister of Public Infrastructure David Patterson turned himself in to the police yesterday after one businessman didn't appreciate Pato's R. Kelly impression. He is facing charges related to indecent exposure following a complaint that he urinated on a businessman's property and then waved his birdie around at the man while he took issue with the behavior, all the while cussing the man and egging him on to do something about this. All of this with Pato's member still exposed. The incident allegedly occurred on July 16, 2023, close to the AFC's Georgetown headquarters. Patterson was shown a video recording of the incident and chose to remain silent. He was subsequently placed on $200,000 bail and told to return today. Once the investigation is complete, the file will be sent to the Director of Public Prosecutions for legal advice. Well, what advice do you need? It's disgusting in its own type. The Demerara Harbor Bridge will reopen 6 hours ahead of schedule at 6 p.m. today. The bridge, the only one connecting the two regions 3 and 4, was closed to repair Span 9, which was damaged since September of 2020. Other repair works are ongoing, including fixing the high span and internal works at spans 12 to 29 and 39 to 61. Meanwhile, the Maritime Administration will license more passenger boats to operate on the Wales Diamond Route, depending on demand, after the Demerara Harbor Bridge resumes operation. The Maritime Administration has already licensed one boat and will approve more vessels if needed. The Canadian High Commission will move from Yonge and High Street, Kingston, to the Pegasus Corporate Centre across the street, but a date has not been set yet. The current wooden colonial building is unsafe due to mold and other issues, but other buildings in the compound are still in use. The new building meets accessibility and security requirements and allows for expansion. However, there's no decision yet on what will happen to the old building. The GDF and the U.S. Military Southern Command have signed a human rights framework agreement committing to human rights engagement, cooperation, and integration. Guyana is the 13th nation to join Southcom's Human Rights Initiative, which seeks to promote a culture of respect for human rights and develop comprehensive and effective human rights programs for defense and security forces in the Western Hemisphere. A 15-year-old male was arrested in Monrepo, East Coast Demerara for possession of marijuana. The police found 3 small Ziploc bags in his hands and a black plastic bag in a nearby bin containing 16 Ziploc bags of cannabis. The total weight of the drugs was 45 grams. The teenager was released into his parents' care, but there's no word just how many licks he collected.
Attention truck owners. Between potholes, bad drivers, and high fuel prices, you've got 99 problems to deal with. But with Powered Automotive, your engine ain't one. That's because they stock high-quality parts and spares you need at prices you can't beat. Visit them at Lot 491 EE Eccles, or call or WhatsApp them at telephone number 697-0171. Save big on truck parts at Powered Automotive, the #1 heavy-duty truck parts store in Guyana. Tired of waiting on hold, tracking down a delivery driver, or carrying cash for your food orders? GT Eat is here to make your life easier. Guyana's first cashless food ordering and delivery app. Choose from Georgetown's top restaurants, pay securely with your card, and get your food delivered right to your doorstep. With the convenience of being able to order from your phone and the added feature of tracking your order, GT Eats is the ultimate solution for all your food needs. Download the app on Apple and Android stores and start ordering the easy way today.
Stephen Howard, a man who was already on remand for robbery, has been charged and further remanded to prison for unlawfully and maliciously setting fire to 2 mattresses while in custody at the Bricktown police station. Howard admitted to lighting the fire with a lighter and a piece of toilet tissue, which he apparently found in the cell. The police are currently searching for Bernard Dove, who shot Devin Williams with a bow and arrow in Region 1, leaving Williams with a deep wound across his abdomen. Williams was initially treated at the Port Kaituma Hospital and later transferred to the Georgetown Public Hospital. The incident is being treated as attempted murder, and anyone with information on Dove's whereabouts is urged to contact the police immediately. The Caribbean Court of Justice has dismissed an appeal by 2 former GDF Coast Guards, Sherwin Hart and Dion Greenwich. The two were convicted of the 2009 murder of Bhatka gold miner Deweva Kant Ramdas. The Court of Appeal had commuted their death sentence to life imprisonment, and the CCJ found no exceptional circumstances to grant an appeal. The third convict, Devon Gordon, did not pursue an appeal. The men were represented by the Death Penalty Project, a London-based NGO that provides free legal representation to those facing the death penalty. The Court of Appeal has substituted Andy Boodram's life sentence for the offence of felonious wounding, with the sentence of 9 years, finding the previous sentence to be too severe. In 2018, Justice Navindra Singh sentenced Boodram to life in prison for severely wounding his neighbour Dionarine Prasad. Prasad had asked Boodram to turn down the volume of his music. Although Boodram had been indicted for attempted murder, a jury found him not guilty but convicted him instead for the alternative count of felonious wounding. The Guyana Prison Service's Fresh Start program has provided toolkits to 28 inmates to help reduce criminal recidivism and expand opportunities for occupational training. The head of the Prison Service Strategic Management Department, Ray Don Corbin Cameron, explained that when an inmate is about to be released, they are gifted with a toolkit to help them earn an income or become entrepreneurs, if they qualify for the program. The toolkits are given to inmates for areas such as livestock rearing, welding, electrical installation, plumbing, landscaping, and cosmetology, among others. Now for today's oil update. The Hess Corporation earned US $119 million in the second quarter this year due to increased oil production in Ghana and the US Bakken area, but recorded a lower income year-over-year due to lower oil prices. The company produced 387,000 barrels of oil per day, up from 303,000 barrels last year, with significant increases in Ghana and again the Bakken. Hess expects production to increase beyond earlier forecasts, with full-year net production forecast to be 385,000 to 390,000 barrels of oil equivalent per day due to strong operational performance and the expected startup of the Payara development in the fourth quarter of this year.
Robbery season might be over, but the streets are still mean. That's why you need to get security for your home or business with Sheriff Security. Sheriff Security has well-trained guards, armed and unarmed patrol, marine patrol, canine services. These people even got drones. Why? Because your security is their highest priority. You've seen the rest. Now hire the best. Hire Sheriff Security Service today.
Now for our Uncut News Views Poll Question of the Day. Every day we pose a question about current events in Ghana, the region, the diaspora, and how you feel it least was. Last night I asked, do you think it's time for us to directly elect our parliamentarians, or should we keep the system as is?
But before we get to that, I'm proud to announce our latest addition to the Noble Army, Richard Singh, who is supporting us at the reporter level, the highest level of monthly support we've received so far. So thank you, Richard Singh. And also a special thank you to David Griffith, Dion Nascimento, Project Zero, and Dimitri V. I appreciate you all. And if you're watching at home and you'd like to support our movement, just hit the link in the video description.
Colin Pratt says, if it continues the way it is, we'll have no one to hold accountable if they mess up. I do believe in representative democracy. So for me, this party control of the list should stop. It has served its purpose, and it's time we go for representative democracy. So if you run for an area and you win, I will have someone that is responsible for fixing everything in our area. Indeed, I agree. And finally, Conrad Thomas says, I want to suggest that it might be better that the political parties select their potential parliamentarians ahead of the regional and general elections and disclose that publicly. And that way we know who will be representing us in Parliament. I actually believe something similar to that is supposed to currently be happening. In fact, that's somewhat of the reason why that current court case is going on about the parliamentary secretaries. Now for tonight's question. Do you believe enough is being done to help prevent ex-offenders from returning to a life of crime? If not, what else should we do to help? I want you to think about that question. Tell us in the comments below. If your response is good enough, we just might feature it in our next episode. Anyway, that's all the time we have for tonight, and check us out tomorrow for another. Until then, I'm Rico Pulford saying good night, folks.